In this tutorial, I will be foilaging my client here, and to get this tone, I will be actually using 3 formulas for her color melting toner. To see how I did this, just stay tuned. Starting out, we're obviously going to foiliage her hair first. What is a foiliage? Well, besides the fact that I have a video on it right here, I will tell you real quick. It's a balayage using foil. Yeah, I know, right? So I'm going to be using my zigzag pattern to get this look because I do want a very prominent piecey look. I want to see the definition in there because she has darkened her hair right now. Sierra is in many of my videos, and I will link, well, when I say many, I mean there's a couple, but I will link those below, and so you can go see what we've kind of done. Last time we did go a little darker. She's always been scared of blonde, and she has decided that she wants to go a little bit lighter. Here is the picture that I showed her, and I think she likes it because it's not so light around her face. She still has the blonde, but it's darker until it gets halfway, almost past her head, past her face, really. So she's more confident about going blonde or without feeling too blonde. In order to get her to her inspiration picture, I'll be doing this, I estimate, in 2 sessions. This is the first session. The second session is yet to be determined because we are now quarantined, and I had to cancel her appointment, unfortunately, for this coming week. But it will be done. We will all get back to work, and we will all live happily ever after, right? Fingers crossed. Okay, so I am only using Flashlift with a bond inside and 20 volume. You all know me by now if you regularly watch my videos. I prefer to be safer than sorry. It is not very often I use more than 20 volume unless I am budging naturally dark hair or I'm doing like a family member's hair or my own hair, and I decide to take chances and live life to the fullest. However, with my clients, it's best to be safe. So I am using 20. I do let it sit, her color sit for about, I believe it was about 45 minutes. And that's because it was like a normal to chillier day in the salon. You know, it depends on the temperature of the salon, how long I let my client sit. And if it's warmer, obviously it won't need as much time. If it's chillier, turn up the damn heat. Now I'm just going through and doing the zigzag parting, taking out my sections, teasing them as you can see, fanning it up, my normal, usual, foilaging self, what I usually do. However, if you're like me, you love to watch foils be placed in people's hair and will sit and watch this whole thing. So I have it on fast forward. I'm going to put on some fancy music, and then once I get to the next step, I will begin to talk again. Music credit will be given in the description below.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Alright, once I'm finished with that foliage, I go through and do another foliage. But this time I'm staying closer to the ends. I don't go as high up the hair with this lightener because I just want it to appear, you know, from dark to medium to light. This is the beginning of our color melt, right? I want the ends to be lighter. I still want some blonde in between, but want it to be blonder on the ends. Alright, now that is rinsed, I go through and begin the color melt. Her hair is still damp, yes. That is fine. I want it to blend in together really good. To start off with, I'm using Logix by Matrix, and I'm using the 4N with a splash of 6N full, because I want to make it nice and rich on her roots. She's naturally like a 5-6 anyways, and I want it to be a touch darker, and as this grows out, it is actually going to fade enough back to her natural hair color and not have a strong line of demarcation, that's what's great about these demi-permanent colors. And obviously, as I get around the face, I am not going to drag the dark as far down as in the back because I want it to have a nice flow. After applying the first formula, I just go ahead and apply some balayage pieces around her face again and let them process. I'm not going to add these second formula that I apply in zone 2 in the back to the front because I want that to stay brighter. And by adding these balayage pieces, I'm hoping for some, obviously, a little bit brighter around the face. Now on to Formula 2. I put a foil up on top of her head and then clip the hair up to the top because I don't want the dark to obviously get anywhere else besides where it is. So that's how we are going to avoid that. Now I apply Formula 2 to the midshaft, which is the Matrix Logix 6N and 8N. So we're going up just a couple levels lighter, but I'm going to melt and comb through the Formula 1 into Formula 2, obviously. You see how I do that? So it actually it'll go from basically a level 4 to a level 7 just by using these two formulas to get next to each other because they're going to melt together, right? You're going to blend them in. And you can see how I do that by applying it to the mid shaft, using my fingers and blending it down into the next formula. And I do that all the way up the back of the head. And for her ends, I use REDKEN Shades Gloss 9P, 9GB, 8VB, and 9N. I use the Shades Gloss because it is still a demi-permanent. However, it covers like nylons would. It's more iridescent, and I don't want her blonde because obviously our goal is to be lighter, and I don't want to use something that's going to tone her down too much. But I need to use a level that matches the level we are able to bring her up to, so I have to use between an 8 and a 9. The VB is to control the really strong warm tones, and the GB is added in there because it'll help keep it from dropping down. And we apply and melt it together the same way that we did with Formula 2. And of course, clean up the mess on your client's forehead that you made because you're going to make a mess. And this is our end result. Just look at that beautiful highlights and lowlights and depths and heaps and valleys, and anyways, it's really pretty, but we want to go lighter, so stay tuned for the next video that will be out as soon as I can get her into my chair. Now remember, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It is extremely important to me getting these out there for you, and if you have not yet subscribed, I ask you to consider doing so, and I'll be back soon. Bye.